serving up a warm dish of the Triad's culinary fare, here's your weekly helping of food, news, and views. This is the man who ate the town.
Hey, folks, and welcome to episode 119 of the Man Who Ate the Town podcast. This is for the week of July 22nd through the 28th, 2019. My name is Tim Beema.
My name's Ray Morgan.
And we're opening the recipe box. We are recording this episode of the Man Who Ate the Town at the lab at Industry Hill. It is a repurposed building on North Chestnut Street in the old warehouse district of downtown Winston-Salem. Industry Hill itself hosts a lot of cool things. Among that, us here
the coolest
at the lab at Industry Hill. Find out more by visiting industryhill.com. So let's see. Joiners. A new bar and possibly restaurant will be coming to 4th Street.
Oh.
It will be in the old Flatiron building on the corner of 4th and Burke. Recently, it housed a frame shop, some art studios, and so on. Sally Gupton Photography is on the top floor, and Flowers by Stephanie is still on the basement level. The name comes from the old Joiner grocery that was probably its most famous tenant there in the Flatiron building. Now, that is all fine and good until I find out who's opening.
Uh-oh.
More on that in a minute.
You're going to leave me hanging.
Yes, I am. I feel it will probably end up being an overpriced cocktail bar that isn't really needed there, with less than stellar offerings. And if they decide to put a restaurant there after the fact, they said if it goes well, they could put a restaurant in there. I don't see the point in opening just to close down for renovations when you could have done all that in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let's face it, that area isn't bereft of food choices. I mean, there's Moselle's, Old 4th Street Filling Station, West End Cafe, Bernardin's, Lighthouse, Humblebee, West End Coffee House, and so on.
A lot of stuff.
So the people who are opening this are the folks from Earl's.
Oh.
Hence my worry about overpriced and subpar. Now, I have no problem with Herbie or Wade or their people. I promise that I'm all for businesses doing what they need to do. I just think they're jumping in way quicker than they should. They still are trying to establish Earl's. Yes, they have a crowd, but it's not a bastion of greatness in this town.
Right.
I've stated my feelings on that more than once. Whatever.
Yes, you have.
I just hope they don't pick a similar theme as they did with Earl's, which I feel is them kind of mocking and poking fun at the bumpkins and rednecks in this area. Now, don't get me wrong. I do that too, but I don't profit from it. so all that.
Not yet. Maybe we should start a new podcast coming next week. Rednecks and bumpkins, beware.
Rednecks in space.
Yeah, get a load of my double barrel here, buddy. You Klingons. That's what I wipe off is the Klingons.
Yeah, right on Uranus.
Yeah, It's devolving quickly.
Yeah. Bring it back to center, at least slightly to the left of center. But
just a little.
Now, seriously, I hope it goes well. I just don't know.
Can they do it?
Can they? Well, in their defense, they're okay. So there's Vintage, and there's Blue Velvet. Mm-hmm. Those are dedicated bars. Mm-hmm. 4th Street itself, from Broad Street around the way, don't have a dedicated bar. They have establishments that have alcohol.
Right, but you've got so many bar choices within 2 blocks, 3 blocks.
Yeah. So
it's not like that end of downtown is bereft.
Right.
And
using my parlance of today.
And that's a tough spot because we've had a lot of businesses that have opened there. Now, granted, I don't know that I've ever seen a restaurant or any version of food opening in there. It's always been some sort of retail.
Yeah, which is really high priced because also I know what people pay rent in that place. So it's going to be just like Tate's. Tate's makes great drinks, but are they $17 worth of drinks?
That's a lot to pay for a drink.
Yes.
I mean, unless it's driving me home.
Yeah, and we're not. I understand if we were in New York or Chicago, as we always talk about, this town has aspirations of being a big city, but don't want to be a big city.
Right.
So, whenever the big city prices start coming in for alcoholic beverages, then people start complaining, people stop going, and then places close down.
Then they go back to their old haunts that have things priced correctly.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope they do well, but...
And isn't that just around the corner from one of your favorite places to go?
Oh, yeah, Underdog Records.
Yeah. I just wanted to get the
Yeah,
Underdog
I mean, actually,
plug.
the one person said on the downtown page about this happening was, can't wait to see how many cars gets towed from the two parking lots that service the businesses on that strip, because they're not supposed to park there to go up there. Now, being as it may be the same people, I don't know how that's going to work, but I know they don't like people parking there if you're not going to Underdog or Hair Bomb or Stephanie's place, which is underneath there. So it may go along with that, but it's going to be a wreck for anybody who's used to parking there.
Well, and again, there's not great parking on that end of town anyway.
No, it's all street parking.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple of lots, and that's why people park in there. So.
Yeah, the filling station has a lot. Bernardin's has a little lot.
Yeah.
But they're not big.
No. It's not a lot of lot.
No, it's a little lot.
It's a little lot. So, well, speaking of Moselles, news came out this week that Moselles owner Jennifer Smith has purchased the duplex that's next door to Moselles, which is actually between Moselles and where this place is going.
Yeah.
And they're going to apply to have Moselles outdoor seating expand into that house's area.
Okay.
She is also going to give the Old Mule a paint job so that it is an attractive location, not just an eyesore like it kind of is now. It's a quaint building that, if cleaned up, can be awesome. Chef Jay Pierce said that there aren't any immediate plans to expand Moselles into that building, but they are going to assess what can be done. I think this is great. Moselles is doing fantastic on the food front. They have an amazing executive chef. They have an awesome owner. They have a brand new awesome chef de cuisine. And now this. So Moselles, to me, is one of the brighter stars in that whole area.
Can we just point out, that's one of the people that's downtown that's not complaining.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. They're doing fantastic work.
I mean, the only issue that you and I have ever said we've had with Moselles is that the interior is a little small. It's cozy. It's quaint.
Yeah, and that's not a problem. That actually adds to the charm. But it does create a problem when there's a lot of people wanting to get in there.
That's what I'm thinking, is that property would allow them to expand the dining room.
But they'd have to find a way to connect it because the health department wouldn't allow them to take food.
Right.
So they'd have to connect it somehow.
Or put another kitchen in that building.
Yeah, but then you'd probably just need to call it something else.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what's going to play out with that.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So, the hot dog tasting trolley tour. Say that 5 times fast.
Hot dog trolley tasting tour.
The hot dog tasting trolley tour is coming on August the 10th. The hot dog tasting tour is serviced through Triad Eco Adventures. My buddy Hal Boyle.
They're the ones that are doing the segways through downtown.
Yep, they do segways, and they also have like paddle boats over on the Quarry Park and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of outdoor recreational things that are lower impact on the environment.
Right, and cool, like us.
So what also they have done is they bought the 2 trolley buses from the city.
Oh, okay.
So, the city was trying to get rid of them, and there was certain things that the prerequisites and conditions to the sale, and Hal and his buddies did this right. So they are using it for tours of things. And so on August the 10th, one of the trolley buses will actually,
they're going to do a hot dog tasting tour.
Yeah, they're going to do this whole tour thing. So have you just wanted to get on one of those trolleys just to ride it and see what it was like?
Actually, I haven't done that yet.
And do you like hot dogs? I know you like sausage dogs and bratwurst better,
Yeah.
but you're not opposed to hot dogs.
I'm not opposed to hot dogs,
So-
no, especially a good one.
Yeah, so why not do both of those? This tour will operate from 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, August 10th, and will make at least four iconic stops in Winston-Salem and Kernersville's most famous hot dog joints, places like Doss's,
Yeah.
Pulliam's, PB's, and Kermit's. Maybe more.
Oh, I mean, you hit the grand slam right there.
Now, the tour is $39 per person, but think you're getting on this bus. You're not having to drive anywhere. You get
Right.
to commiserate with the other people on the thing. You get hot dogs
At 4 locations.
at 4 locations, and they will give you free iced bottled waters on the bus. They don't want any
Of course,
food
that
on
costs
there.
them like all of a nickel
Yeah.
each.
But if groups of
At $39, you're looking at about $10 per stop.
yeah.
That,
Yeah.
Come on now.
And if there are groups of 3 or more, you can get a rate of $35 per person.
Oh,
And for listeners of this podcast and readers of my blog, you can get an extra $5 off by entering MAN5, MAN5 at checkout.
oh, we have an exclusive promotion.
We do, yes.
Woo, yes.
And I know what you're thinking, Tim, where is this checkout? I will post the web address in the show notes, or you can go to the Facebook, and search Hot Dog Tasting Trolley Tour.
The
And
Facebook.
the Facebook.
We know where that comes from.
So, as always, tell them that I sent you. Put MAN5 in at checkout, and you'll get $5 off of that tour.
See, being a part of this show has its advantages.
Yes. Yes, it does.
All of our loyal listeners, thank you. Here's your reward.
Ta-da!
Ta-da-ta-da-ta-da.
Now, I don't have an actual Summer of Burger tour update because other than Mooney's last week before we recorded that show, I haven't been anywhere new. I haven't had an opportunity. My week was very busy.
Yeah.
But I hope to get a place or two. I know Wednesday, I think I'm going to Bad Daddy's. So
Now,
it's a chain, but it's a North Carolina
you said
chain.
it. You said it. It is a North Carolina chain.
Yeah, it's a North Carolina chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have said that there's some exceptions to the chain rule.
Right. I mean, we talk about Carrabba's all the time.
Yeah, but truthfully, why do we talk about Carrabba's? Daniel Butner.
That's true.
We talk about Carrabba's because of what Daniel is doing there.
Well, a lot of people have requested Bad Daddy's, and it wasn't in one of the few that I named specifically that I would not try. So, to be fair,
It is North Carolina.
it is North
based.
Carolina based. So, but to be fair, people have asked for it, and it wasn't again explicitly marked off the list. So I am going to give it a chance, and I have a friend who works there who said that this will be comped, so I can
Nice.
try the burger for this tour.
They recognize the value of the promotion and being involved in the Summer of Burgers. Now, I will say, I've eaten their burgers. They're good. I'm not trashing them at all.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I have to look at all aspects of it, and I have decided that because it is a North Carolina-based chain, that I can assume that because small batch is
It's a
now
North
a chain.
Carolina. Yeah. Officially, now that there's 2 locations,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got a chain.
Yeah. So
2-link chain, but it's still a chain.
Yeah. I mean, look at Boondoggies. Boondoggies is A, not in Winston, and
Yeah.
B, has a food truck and a store. So that's not technically a chain, but it is outliers that I have to actually go through. So,
Well, Food Freaks is actually based out of the Moxville area.
right. But they come here,
A lot.
and Boondoggies does too. So.
Yeah. Well, and when Bad Daddies and Food Freaks were both on Haynes Mall Boulevard, I only went to one.
Yeah, of course.
I had to support Brandon
Sure.
and fill my gut up with, Food Freak burgers. Okay. Now Bad Daddies is coming.
Yes. So, I see the door opening. We have a special guest.
A special guest. Yes.
Let's get to that. All right, this is the segment we call Getting in Your Business. And today we have with us George Memory, who I just love that name, of Organix Juice Bar and the soon-to-be opened Cafe Veradu.
Yes.
So, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Tim.
Can you tell us what does Veradu mean?
Great question.
Thank you.
In Swedish, actually, it means be you, as in be yourself.
Okay.
The idea behind that message, as you said, I also have Organix Juice Bar going on. I'm in my fourth, going on fifth year. And in the juice bar industry world, one thing that I've encountered a lot as I go traveling to other cities and visit their juice bars is that there's a whole lot of judgment, unfortunately, that happens in health restaurants and health stores. Almost as if you don't look the part, if you don't dress the part, you're kind of judged.
Well, you to be honest, you don't really look like the soccer mom type.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, and that's certainly something that we've tried to accomplish with Organics, that people can come in and feel, judgment free. But the really one of the biggest missions behind Cafe Veradu was to feel like you can be whoever you want to be there. You can be a full-on raw vegan that eats nothing but raw plant-based goods, or you could be a sugarholic that's caffeine, addicted and wanted some just your classic true ice cream, whatever it may be.
Why are you calling me out?
Hey, that's all good.
I mean, seriously now.
Yeah. And so, I was looking for that message, and I also wanted a name that was unique. The environment that you'll find at Cafe Veradu will be kind of a minimalist Scandinavian vibe, hence the Swedish interpretation. And then also, to be completely honest, I spent some time on Google Translate and tried to find a good saying that accomplished that message, but in simple letters. Obviously, I went through a lot of different iterations of it that just didn't make a whole lot of sense. But Veradu was very memorable, I felt like.
So, are you Scandinavian?
I am not. No.
Okay.
No.
What kind of name? No, what kind of name is that? What kind of name is Memory?
It is
He
part
forgets.
Irish and Irish and English. Actually, we have a whole lot long roots here in Winston-Salem. My great uncle was a professor at Wake Forest. There's actually right around Jasper Memory Lane, right on campus.
Okay.
So I'm born and raised here, and the Memory Lane name has been here for some time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So this really is a homegrown business.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Love that.
Yeah.
So, what got you into the juice bar aspect?
So the juice bar world came about with my wife's breast cancer back in 2012, 2013.
Okay.
We had just gotten married. We just turned 30, and we knew we wanted to have some life together without kids.
Right.
I'll kind of give you as quick of an abridged version of this story. But she was,
as long as you want.
she, one of the last things she was going to do before we officially started to try was to get a mammogram, because her mom had breast cancer and she just turned 30. Mammogram actually picked up stage 1 breast cancer. Wow. And no symptoms or anything like that, but they moved very quickly. And at the time, I was in the finance industry. I was a retirement planner, and I had been for about going on 8 years. And that's what I went to school for, studying finance and economics. But that whole experience certainly turned our lives upside down.
Sure.
I'm also a type 1 diabetic, so I've always been kind of in tune to kind of what I eat and drink. But then after my wife's experience with breast cancer, we changed our diets. She'd learned that it was estrogen fed, and so she kind of changed the way she ate. She realized that through the genetic counselor and meeting with the dietitian that the cancer actually was not genetic. It had to do with foods that she had been eating, kind of growing up with, and the environment she was in. So that, in conjunction with the umpteen different food documentaries you see on Netflix, kind of started the snowball effect. And
in some ways scaring the hell out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly was. And it was the first time I'd ever really become kind of a mixture of passionate and enraged as I realized how messed up as a country our kind of food system is. And thinking, I still go to Whole Foods all the time, but realizing I couldn't just go to Whole Foods and trust everything that they sold. Again, you'll still see me in Whole Foods, but it really opened my eyes. And then I learned, this was 2013, I learned about the juice bar world, 2014. But I realized that Piedmont Triad had nothing. I would either have to go to Asheville, Charlotte, or Raleigh. And then 2000
drive just for juice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's when we both had realized, and also with the whole cancer scare, that life is too short to just be working a job to support a living. And so we decided to both pursue our passion. So my wife is now a full-time photographer, and I said, you know what, I'm going to quit my job and become a juice salesman.
So wait, your wife is a photographer, so
she was
she makes memories.
Yeah. Even better, Tim. The name of her photography business is Inspired Memories Photography.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's right. It's funny. It's spelled with the YS instead of IES.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. I sold, I hung up my suit and tie and got a push cart. Met with the city of Winston-Salem and got a permit to set up downtown on 6th and Trade Street and set up my first. It was actually the opening day of the Mass General Store.
Okay.
May 6th, I believe, 2015 was my official first day. And so that's how Organix was started. And then fast forward through a couple months that did better than expected. I would produce everything at the original Tart Sweets location, which was on Hawthorne.
Right.
And Chelsea Tart had told me, and I'd been renting the kitchen from her, she said, we're actually going to be moving. But she had still some time on her lease, and so I said, yeah, I'll absolutely resume it. So that's why I'm now at their location. So I resumed that spot. And then
That's beside the Ardmore
Coffee. Yep,
where
exactly.
Carlizzle's is, and across from
That's right.
Across from Stella Brew and the barbershop.
That's right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
For those that don't recognize that, that's where the Food Lion is there at Hawthorne.
Yep.
And
PB's Hot Dogs along
PB.
Tollway. And
It's-
PB.
and Cafe Arthur.
It's funny. People are like, "Oh, so where's your juice bar?" I was like, "Well, it's right next to." And I'll start saying all, and they're like, still kind of lost.
You say PB?
And I'll say PB's. Like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
I'm
right
like,
there. Oh, yeah.
or Cafe Arthur.
yeah. We'll get a lot of PB's customers and say we're coming over here to kind of make ourselves feel a little better about it.
We got the hot dog, but we need something good.
Exactly.
So that was how you got started into that, but you said it was your passion.
Yep.
So tell me more about your passion on the juice part.
Yep.
So
It's-
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was really more aligned with I was frustrated going out to eat or going to an establishment and having to question the integrity of the ingredients. Or question everything else, because my wife would always say, well, is there soy in there, or is there, and the wait staff or whoever it may be just might say, well, I don't think so, and she's like, well, there's soy lecithin, which is in everything. So for example, we would have to go, if we went to a let's just say a bakery, and we got something with chocolate chips, just say a chocolate chip scone, just to think of an example. They may say, no, there's no soy in this scone, but they don't realize that more times than not, wherever they got the chocolate chips from, a lot of times there would be soy lecithin in that bag. That's just one sliver of an example, but it was frustrating that we couldn't go to a place and feel like, okay, these are all the ingredients that are in this product. And so a lot of what I was trying to do with Organix is just say, listen, when you walk into the door here, you can trust everything we got going on, everything on the menu is what is in our juices. We still, to this day, will say, well, what else is it? I'm like, that's it. Like, we keep it pretty simple. There's no games that we play here. That's what you see on our menu. That's what's in our products. And so, and a lot of, and what has developed over the last few years since opening that is the interactions with the customers, especially the ones that have never really let kale ever touch their mouth, kind of thing. They are scared of something that's green, and so that's why I started.
Now he's talking about
creating our Power Green juice, which is our most popular. And it's our gateway drug.
Yeah,
it's the
you get them hooked.
Pineapple, orange, kale, and spinach. And so the pineapple and orange is the nice, strong citrus fruit that helps mask the taste of the kale and spinach. But it's a really sneaky way to get your grains in. And so it was really fulfilling to have these interactions and relationships with customers that grew up nothing green ever touching their plate, and then realizing and after the fact learning how important it was to get raw vegetables in their diet, and that they would be coming from the hospital. We're uniquely positioned between the two hospitals. I just got back from the doctor. He said I needed to get some more vegetables or something, and so it was really neat seeing that relationship and seeing their relationship with food change. One of the documentaries that I really enjoyed, there was a snippet where the guy being interviewed said, his one issue versus diets is diets are all about you can't have X, Y, and Z. Right. He said, throw all that out the window. Just focus on adding one more healthy thing into your diet today. Just keep it very simple, very manageable, nothing overwhelming. He said over time, your healthy choices will start crowding out the unhealthy choices. And I thought that was a really interesting and unique way of kind of looking at it. And so that's kind of what we've tried to portray to our customers. They'll kind of beat themselves up even. They'll walk in, gosh, I'm like, just don't worry about it. Just focus on, you're here now, just focus on having one thing that would really help out. So that's been good.
Yeah, because, I'm doing this Summer of Burgers, and it was very weird having the conversation with my doctor when finding out that he follows me on social media. And so I walked in, I said, Doc, he walked in, I said, Doc, I'm going to tell you I suck. And he says, been having a couple of burgers, have you? I'm like, what? He says, I follow you on social media. So the deal I had to make with him and my wife, who loves to shove green things down my throat, was that I'm not allowed to have more than 3 burgers a week,
right,
and I have to offset that with a lot of fresh green things and things like it, healthy foods.
How's that going?
It's going okay. Yamas helps me a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yamas helps out a lot because I can get a lot of food, and every bit of it's healthy.
Yeah.
But it sounds like I need to start making another stop over on Hawthorne Road.
We'd love to see
to help offset my burger intake. Because I've never been a fan of kale, but
don't worry, me either.
I'm gonna mention this fruit, the tropical smoothie cafe, whatever. Not a big fan, but I did go there a couple times, and my favorite thing that they had was the island green or whatever, and there was a lot of spinach, a lot of kale, all that, but there was like kiwi and stuff in there too, because kiwi tastes good, and it made it very good. And I would drink really quickly, and brain freeze would set in, but I would drink it so fast because it tasted so good, that I realized that green stuff is not so bad. I've always liked spinach. I have always liked I don't like iceberg lettuce, but I like arugula. I like stuff that has flavor, because icebergs very rarely have flavor. It's all just texture,
right? And
that's great for those who like that, but I prefer not to. But yeah, I'm certainly going to have to make a stop often to
something else to offset the summer
something
burgers.
else, yeah, and something because as much as I love Yamas, I can't eat it all the time. So I need
especially not during the summer of burgers.
That's true.
Which will kind of morph into the fall of burgers and then the winter of burgers.
No. Once September 2nd is here,
You're going to cut burgers out of your diet?
No. Man, bite your tongue. Getting ready to make me cuss a preacher. but the quest for the burger will very much slim down at that point. But even beyond that, I see the need. All joking aside, I see the need of healthier things in my diet, and that could be a fantastic addition to my diversion from the. And it's not that burgers are necessarily unhealthy in moderation, because a lot of things aren't in moderation. But you know, when you are eating 3 a week, sometimes more if you have to fit them in there.
Sometimes 3 a day. Just saying, not gonna put a date to that.
Sorry.
Yesterday.
No judgment, right?
No judgment whatsoever. No.
So when's the perceived opening date for Cafe Veradu?
We are hoping September.
Okay.
Certainly, there's a lot of things that would be out of our control, but things are progressing quite well inside. Equipment-wise, everything's looking good. We've got everything pretty well outfitted. Now it's just kind of finishing up with the permits, with the health department, all that fun stuff.
Our lovely Forsyth County Health Department. You don't say anything. I will say it because I don't have anything. I don't have a dog in this fight, but but you do. So you just keep quiet over there, and I'll just say, aren't they lovely?
Yes, they've been great. Michelle has been wonderful to work with.
He said,
wink,
with
wink.
no sarcasm.
Say no more. Say no more.
Yeah.
But so what offerings will you have? I guess you'll have the traditional things, but is there any other things there that's?
Even talk about the traditional for those of us that are not familiar with the traditional.
Well, I tell you, I'm really wanted to have it's a unique interpretation of it's going to happen to be a vegetarian cafe, but it's not something that I'm promoting as a vegetarian cafe. So I'm kind of combining 3 different experiences: a full coffee house experience. So we'll have a full espresso based, menu and have some pour over coffees, some your classic drips.
Will you have decafs that are worth drinking?
We will try to, absolutely.
That's oxymoron, right?
Shut up.
That's so. And
some
yes,
of us,
we definitely will
in
have
this
some
room
decaf.
cannot have caffeine
to
that magnitude, or
we
their wife says whoever gives it to them must babysit them until the day is over.
So that we're really excited. I've always been passionate about coffee, and I can't open up a coffee shop having Ardmore Coffee next to me at Organix. So
that might be a little bit of a
it's been good. Yeah, Todd and I, we're on great terms, so I'm not about to do something like that. So I'm super excited about finally be able to exercise my coffee passion.
And this is far enough away that it really has nothing to do with him at all.
And I look to bring in a couple roasters. We will probably be white labeling and selling the bags of beans, but I'll be using Terry at Twin City Highs for probably some of our more high-end kind of pour-over options. Okay. And then I'm looking at using a roaster either in Raleigh or in Greensboro for our espresso. And so that's our first experience, is the coffee experience. The second is the juice bar experience, which we'll have, obviously, our cold pressed juices. We'll have some lemonades. We're also going to be making some in-house kombucha. And we'll have wellness shots, the ginger and turmeric and kale and all that fun stuff. So that's stuff that I've already been doing.
That's stuff they can find at Organix now.
Yeah, but Cafe Veradu will be doing it. It'll be doing it on its own.
Right.
So there will not be a relationship between Organix and Cafe Veradu.
Other than they have the same daddy.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's a pretty good way of putting it. And then we'll also have some foods under the juice bar kind of section, which we offer that in our Greensboro Organic store, not in our Winston one, but we'll have your kind of our take on avocado toast, of course, some other different types of toast. And then let's see here, we'll have your smoothies, some really unique smoothies, some acai bowls. Again, just your normal juice bar options. And then finally, and some other unique food items was going to be waffle pops.
Ooh.
So we'll be using like Belgium. It'll be like a Belgian waffle, but it will be on a stick.
Okay.
We have a unique kind of griddle for this, where it would be on a little bamboo stick, and we can get really creative with the toppings, anywhere from your classic syrups to honey, chocolates, put some goji berries and some fresh fruits, whatever. We're going to have an extensive topping menu for that. But
Cool.
So we're really excited about that. And then finally, the rolled ice cream, which is something that I was introduced to by my next door neighbor in Greensboro, Ice Scrapers. And it's are y'all familiar with rolled ice cream?
Before you got here, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Yeah,
we both
great
wondered.
question. Yeah, and it's originated from Thailand, and some people refer to it as fried ice cream.
Okay.
But basically, it's think of like a griddle or something, but it's a freezer plate. It goes around 30 or so degrees on negative 30 degrees.
Ooh.
So you basically pour the raw, if you will, raw ice cream, raw cream onto it, and create ice cream in front of you. So it falls right in line with other things that we're doing, which is taking the raw ingredients and making something, whether if it's juice or a smoothie or a toast.
So you know exactly what's in it.
So you know exactly what's in it, exactly. So it fits right in with kind of our motto with that. And so if, for example, the best example would be if you wanted cookies and cream, you just literally pour the cream on there, add an Oreo or two, and you've got like two paint scrapers that you chop them up really, really fine, and it's actually a pretty loud experience.
Yeah.
But it is an experience in itself. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes from beginning to end to actually make it. It's really fun to
So it's not something you just run in to get.
No. Which is why it's typically going to be more expensive to get a rolled ice cream treat because of the labor and the process involved. And so after you chop it up and you kind of flip it over and quote unquote fry it on the freezer plate, then you kind of use those paint scrapers and spread it thin across the whole surface. And once you let that set for a couple of seconds, then you use the paint scraper and just scrape up the ice cream.
Roll.
And during that process, the ice cream just rolls up into little curls. And so then you end up getting about 5 or 6, and then you place them in a cup. And so it's a really neat visual presentation to it. Yeah. So, and the neat thing about the whole concept of Café Verdu, again, which we're not going to present ourselves as a vegetarian or vegan, but everything on our menu, we will have gluten-free options and vegan options. So instead of using a classic cream for rolled ice cream, we'll have maybe an almond milk base.
Oh, okay.
And same thing, we'll have some gluten-free, we'll have vegan waffle pop options, we'll have gluten-free toast options, and all of that. So we're
But
really
will you
excited
have
about it.
anything carnivore?
No. So
Just every once in a while we might throw something in there. There's a carnivorous one over here. Oh, here he comes.
They're not rolling burgers. It's rolling ice cream.
So we're excited because I wanted to create a place for a group of friends or a family, which often, as any of us know, very rarely do, say a group of 4 or 5 friends, are they all vegan or are they all gluten-free? And it's difficult. It's getting easier now, but it's difficult to go to a food establishment to actually have everyone's dietary restrictions, be met, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring a place that would allow for everyone to have their dietary restriction, not worried about, but also a place where you could have someone with their avocado toast, their juice with nothing but veggies, and their wheatgrass shot to sit across the table from someone with some rolled ice cream, a shot of espresso, and a waffle.
Right.
And that's where I really wanted a place where you didn't feel like you had to walk in, feel like you just left.
You don't have to have a stamp saying you're part of the vegetarian club.
Exactly,
to come
yeah.
in.
So, and that's where it's just a judgment-free environment that we wanted.
Well, see, for me, I joke a lot about the carnivorous thing, which I certainly am. And
Oh, yeah.
my joke really is I'll eat anything that had a mother. But but I love the flesh of my fellow vertebrates. But the truth is, yes, I do eat all that. But I'm perfectly at home in a place where there are vegetarian options. Vegan, I don't know about that. But the vegetarian aspect, because when I'm done there, then I can go have a burger.
Yeah.
Or have a
Absolutely.
burger first and then go over there. That could be the rolled ice cream, could be the dessert, it could be the topper.
There you go.
Or to offset, to wash that down, have me a decaf something or a
maybe you
smoothie.
didn't eat breakfast, and so you run by and you have a chance to sit down with somebody over a cup of coffee, and maybe you get some juice to go with that. Doesn't have to be your primary meal.
That's right.
True.
Sounds like I've got a whole lot of different ways that I can use this restaurant.
It sure will be. Absolutely.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious, do you feel like there's enough of a market out there, folks that are really looking for more of that vegan and vegetarian option to sustain this long term?
So that is the question that would be asked if I were to be opening up another organic juice bar. So I think that's an excellent question, and my point to that question is that's why I'm opening up Cafe Verdu, because I want to appeal to people other than the vegans and the vegetarians.
Yeah.
I actually have every expectation that over half my customer will not necessarily be vegan or vegetarian, frankly. And that's where, I would be a little bit concerned if I did open up an organics with the food options. Would there be enough? And I'm not sure. So that's where the coffee and the rolled ice cream and the waffles really come into place that I really wanted to kind of be playful with those items and kind of have a unique interpretation of it.
Well, that's, I'm not going to call out any names because really I don't have any off the top of my head, but I know as far as the downtown Facebook page, a lot of people are like, what would you like to have in a restaurant? And everybody says vegan or vegetarian. I'm like, that would fail miserably because I don't think that a full-on restaurant downtown could handle that. I don't think the demand is as great as they think that it is. I'm talking about the other residents. The people who are vegan or vegetarian, I understand that they want a place they can go.
Yeah.
And there are places that you can get those options. It's just you have to really look for them, and I hate that that's the case. But at the same time, I don't think that a full-on vegan or vegetarian restaurant downtown would survive after the initial. Because all restaurants do really great at the beginning,
Yeah.
and then people realize, okay, well, I'm done with this, and
There's
move
the
on.
fall off,
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to evolve, and there's really not a whole lot of evolving in that.
Right.
So, I think the emphasis should be on the regular restaurants downtown, providing more offerings for those folks who need that kind of stuff, whether it's dietary or by choice, and not focus on one full-on restaurant that serves that, because I believe their clientele will be very limited.
Yeah.
So, and
now-
I don't want to see people waste money on something that
Yeah.
will just lose
Sure. Yeah.
money.
But now we haven't talked about, where are you going to have Cafe Verdi?
So that's something that I'm naturally a contrarian, just how I think
Just
about
'cause.
a lot of things. And so I've always tried to look. There's been a couple years going in the process of looking to open up another spot.
Being
And-
patient, waiting for the right
Yep,
spot.
and I've looked at quite a number, all over the state, actually. And when I was notified about this location, I then started my routine, which is I do a Google search of, all right, so how close is the closest coffee shop? And the closest one was Starbucks. And I was like, okay, well, there's plenty of an anti-Starbucks crowd out there that I'm not concerned about that.
Right.
And then I looked up ice cream and smoothie. And so the location, to answer your question, is actually it's at the intersection of Peace Haven and Robin Hood. Actually, along the strip of Harris Teeter and the UPS store, we're actually the end unit, which we coincidentally have a drive-through
Oh,
but
nice.
I didn't get it for the drive-through, and we're not really quite sure yet if we're going to use it. But we are there. But yeah, by the Harris Teeter, it's on Peacehaven, North Peacehaven, so 1961 North Peacehaven Road.
Well, that's Whitaker Square?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Okay.
Yep.
So that could be, even if you don't use it for a drive-through, it could be a walk-up window.
Yep. So we're playing around with a bunch of different ideas, and we'll be working with the landlord to see what we're allowed to do. If I could do some seating in that area where the drive-through is. So we're not quite sure, but we're excited. And so one thing I did, and I love downtown Winston, absolutely adore it. And I used to be a resident in the Niston building back in 2007, and it's been neat to see it progress as much as it has. But I just knew that I don't have it in me to try to find and fight my way through that. So it's just I try to look at the unsexy places, and I felt like that was an appealing spot, that there just really wasn't a whole lot being offered that was unique. Granted, there's still great stuff up there. I don't want to knock anyone that's there.
That's, new Sherwood, old Sherwood.
Exactly, absolutely.
The Peacehaven area,
the neighborhoods around you are exactly the kind of folks I would expect to
absolutely.
patronize it.
And, of course, there's Mount Tabor High School right there.
Right.
And then there's also the Reagan crowd, which I think would actually come down a little bit. I'm hoping to make a unique enough experience to really appeal to that wide of a radius there. So, yeah.
Well, I see the people, and I know it's a whole different ballgame, but the people who flock to the beer growler.
Yeah,
right there
absolutely.
across the street.
Yeah,
so
exactly
those are neighborhood people.
Yeah.
And so it could be that, for the kids, because kids aren't going to be drinking beer, but that's a kid-friendly place, that you could be let's go get them
absolutely
a smoothie or a juice or something while we drink our juice.
That's right. That's right.
I'm curious to see how that'll play out for you long term, because I know Village Juice, picking where it did there in North Stratford, was trying to tap into that same clientele. But in some ways, I think you're maybe even in a better spot than where they are.
It'll be interesting to see. We've certainly, for 4 years now going strong, we've been able to coexist quite well. And they have some wonderful food options, and they've done some great things with their food menu. And I've loved to see what they've been doing as they've been expanding into college campuses. I went to their Elon spot a couple months ago and had a wonderful experience. So it's been really neat to see. And actually, as different juice bars look to go into different arenas, it's been neat to see that growth there. So yeah, we're excited. I'm really excited to see how that part of town goes. My brother lives in the Sherwood Forest area, and so I'm familiar with that neighborhood and the clientele. Like you said, I really look forward to, and even as I've been there, going in to help unload my car with boxes of whatever, it's been neat having the folks on their way to UPS like all excited. Oh, we're so excited to see something opening up here. So.
I have two very good friends who live one in New Sherwood and one in Old Sherwood. And one of them is my business partner, one of the beer dads. And the other is just one of our beer dads group, we call them, because it's the beer dads and this other couple, who she is an honorary beer dad.
Nice.
Because we call our significant others pilots. The thing is hers really is. He's the pilot for Southwest Airlines. So awesome. We say our pilots, and she says her pilot.
Yeah.
But they live, actually, the pilot and she live not even probably a half mile from her. So.
Oh, nice.
So I'm going to try to steer them that
yeah,
direction.
Please do.
She's into all healthy stuff, so that's good too. So.
Nice.
So the big message here is this is not Organix Part 2.
Correct.
This is something entirely different.
Entirely different. And I the way I'm building it, kind of piece by piece from the ground up, is with the idea of having multiple locations. The goal is for this to be a model franchise unit, frankly. And I have someone teed up to be looking at opening up one in Kernersville after we kind of work out get all the kinks out these first 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited about that, and then hopefully more than thereafter. But yeah, absolutely. And so we're excited about that.
It's always cool to see somebody living their passion. To say, you know what, I had this job, but it was a job. Forget that. Throw it out. I'm going to live my passion.
Oh, it's scary.
It's a little scary.
Yes, it is.
It is a roller coaster ride, and it's not as funny. I've posted a couple of times on Facebook the little squiggly line of the life of an entrepreneur all over the place, and I joke that a lot of folks just assume, oh, that's your weekly, your monthly roller coaster ride. I'm like, no, think about daily.
That was my last hour.
I was gonna say it's the swings. It's
Because that's me, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
So it's, as a freelancer, basically any entrepreneur really is a freelancer.
Absolutely.
Yep.
It's scary. Is someone going to want to pay me today?
Yes.
Can I buy groceries tonight? Can I?
Please?
Yeah. Will I go home and my lights are off? But yeah. So I'm so glad you came to talk to us about it, and at both places really. And I can't wait to see what you do with Cafe Verdu. Let me know, or us know, when the opening is, and we'll come make a big deal about it.
We definitely will. Thank you so much, Tim.
Absolutely.
I really, really greatly appreciate, and really appreciate you reaching out and having me on here. This has been awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So where can they find you on the web?
Oh, yeah. So we're going to be real active on Instagram and Facebook. So Cafe Vera Do. So it'll be Cafe _Vera _Do. And again, that's VARADU. So 2 words, Veradu. But yeah, they can reach out, and contact information's on both social media pages, Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Awesome. George, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Good
Tim.
luck to everything you're
wish you
doing,
the
and
best.
I will come by and offset my burger intake with some delicious organics, and then eventually Cafe Veradu.
Right on. I appreciate it, Tim.
Thanks so much. Once again, thank you so very much to George Memory of Organix Juice Bar and the soon-to-be-open Cafe Vera Do. We really enjoyed that.
Appreciate the good memories.
The good memories they are. All right, let's do some food holidays.
Oh, let's.
7/22 is today. It's National Panucci Fudge Day.
I'd have no idea what a panucci is.
It's spelled Penuche. It's Italian. It's a fudge-like candy made from brown sugar, butter, and milk, using no flavors except for vanilla. Panucci often has a tannish color and is lighter than regular fudge. So
Interesting. Almost like a caramel.
The brownie itself or not brownie, but the fudge itself, it's very not caramel, but it's very light color. It's like when you put a lot of cream in your coffee,
Right,
and
yeah,
stir it up.
yeah.
It's that color.
That's the way I do my coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, is there a place we could get that?
I don't know. We need to find that out.
Never heard of it. Now I'm going to try it.
You know who we can ask?
Who?
Brittany.
Brittany. Yes, Brittany.
Ask if she can do a panucci.
Brittany, you just need to add that to the menu for a couple of days. We'll come visit.
Right on. So it's also National Mango Day.
Oh, yeah. My grandparents lived in Miami most of their life.
Yeah.
And they had a mango tree in their backyard. And every year, they would send us a box of mangoes. Oh, yes, sir.
I make a mean mango salsa.
Ooh, love mango salsa. Love mangoes in general.
Yep.
It is.
The mango tree, my baby.
Not everybody likes them because the flavor is a little different.
Well, it's kind of neutral.
Yeah.
It's like a banana. They don't taste like a banana.
No,
but
not
what I mean by that is it's a neutral flavor.
Yes.
Where oranges, grapes, strawberries, they all have that strong flavor.
Yeah.
Mangoes have a subtle,
milder,
an understated flavor. But banana's the same way.
Well, the trick to a good mango, get it ripe. Let it be completely ripe, because then you get a sweetness to it that you just don't get any other way.
Right.
You got to let it mature. That needs to be that reddish color on the out. Oh yeah.
But it sure is annoying trying to get around that pit sometimes.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like almost, well, in many ways, worse than a peach pit.
Oh, yeah.
You don't
Yeah,
really...
because you don't see this pit. You just encounter it.
What is that?
Yeah, the peach pit you see,
Yeah.
but the mango pit is there.
It's there.
It's hidden. It's also Rat Catcher's Day. Now, there's a reason for that.
I was hoping.
In 1376, according to legend, the Pied Piper got rid of all the rats in the German town of Hamelin. When the townspeople refused to pay, then he led all the children away.
Yes.
That is the date given by Richard Roland Verstagan in 1605, which was the earliest version in English. So on July 22nd was when that was supposed to have happened.
So Rat Catcher's Day.
Rat Catcher's Day.
Wow.
In
What a
nine-
noble profession.
Yeah. Let's
There's no
lead them
bull in
away.
there.
Want to lead these children away? Okay, so in 1957 on the 22nd, Walter Frederick Morrison filed a design patent application for a plastic flying toy, which he sold under the name Pluto Platter.
The Frisbee.
This was the basic design for the Frisbee. Patent was granted September 30th, 1958, the next year.
And then the Whammo Corporation showed up.
Let's buy it from him. So the 23rd is National Vanilla Ice Cream Day.
That's your favorite kind?
Yeah.
See, I remembered that.
Yes.
But
So-
it needs chocolate in there or strawberries or some mango.
Yes. Well, since we're talking about ice cream, do you want to pause for a second to talk about
The
Big Chill? Yeah.
Last year was the first year they'd held it in Bailey Park.
Sure.
And it was the most successful Big Chill that we had had. It was somewhere around 30,000 that we were able to raise. Final tally is still happening because the Big Chill happened yesterday on Sunday. We're already over 40,000.
That's awesome.
That's just, whoa, yes, so exciting to hear that so many people came out. It was such a big event, and all of that's going to help give people clothing and food, free medical clinic, community dinner. It's really about reaching out to folks that are out on the margins and saying, you know what, we love you, we recognize you need some help, here you go. And most of the social service organizations require that you prove that you're in need. Shalom Project doesn't do that. You show up, there you go. You proved you're in need, you're here.
Yeah.
Here you go. So, congratulations, Shalom Project. Hoping that number actually goes a whole lot higher before it's all said and done.
Yeah, let's double that.
Oh, wouldn't that be
That
nice?
would be awesome.
Woo!
So on the 23rd in 1964, Leroy and Forrest Raffle opened the first Arby's roast beef restaurant in Boardman, Ohio, serving at the time only roast beef sandwiches, potato chips, and a beverage.
Well, they've certainly expanded since then.
So do you know what Arby's means?
We have the meat. That's
For
what
sandwiches. But it actually, ARBYS, or ARBY apostrophe S, is short for RB, or Raffle Brothers.
Oh,
So Arby's.
interesting.
Yes.
Who would have? I would have never, would have never guessed.
Yeah.
Would have never known. That's cool.
Yeah, I always thought that was interesting that,
Yeah.
because when I was growing up in West Virginia, I remember there was a commercial that said it was America's roast beef. Yes, sir.
Yep. And those huge, distinctive signs, the big hat.
Yeah.
And the new ones that they're putting out. They're still using the hat, but it's a stylized kind of line drawing.
Yeah.
You don't get that monstrous presence like we used to see.
Yeah, there's only one left in this town. There was two.
Yeah.
There were two. And now there is only one, and that's on Stratford and Knollwood.
Yep. You can still see that big sign.
Yep. The 24th is National Tequila Day.
Oh,
Yummy.
tequila.
And it's National Drive-Through Day.
Not to be combined.
No.
Do not combine
Unless-
National Tequila Day.
Well, in
with
Florida
drive-thru.
you can. In Florida you can drive. You have a drive-through liquor store.
They do, yes. I've seen them.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean,
but
in this state,
do not
they
be
need
drinking and driving.
Oh no. You pull over.
Yeah, pull over.
You might spill your drink. In 1938, on the 24th, Nestle introduced Nescafe instant coffee in Switzerland. In 1988, a world record largest milkshake was created in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, weighing more than 54,914 pounds. I don't know why they say more than that if they actually gave that amount. So why don't they say more than 54,000?
That's what, 26, 27 tons
Yes.
of of milkshake.
The shake used 44,689 pounds of ice cream, 9,688 pounds of syrup, and 537 pounds of topping.
Wow. What flavor was it?
I don't know. Big.
Big. Yeah, it was
What
flavor
flavor is
big.
that? Big.
World record big. Thank you very much.
That's Guinness flavor right now.
Oh, ba-dum-bum.
7/25 is National Hot Fudge Sundae Day. The Hot Fudge Sundae was supposedly created in 1906 at C.C. Brown's, a new ice cream parlor on Hollywood Boulevard in Los Angeles.
I wonder if we could do rolled ice cream sundaes. Ooh. We may have to make a new stop once they open. Go try
Yeah,
that.
we're going to go try that.
Yeah, I really want to try that rolled ice cream.
I do too. It's also National Chili Dog Day,
Okay, all right.
and it's National Refreshment Day.
National Refreshment Day.
Yes.
Well, that's generic.
Yes. I don't know where it came from. And
The vending machine industry lobbied for a day, and it's Refreshment Day. You can get anything you want out of our machines.
it's small Dixie cups of orange drink and cookies. That's what National Refreshment Day is. I don't know. Culinarians Day that day as well. Which
Oh,
is
that's just an excuse to use a big word.
and I call myself a culinarian.
Do you?
Well, I like to think that I am. I call my son one.
That's
he is-
not to be confused with what other people call you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You know, when we celebrate Mother's Day, you know, most people call me a mother.
Yeah.
So I just go with it.
And some people call me
Tim? In the 26th of July, it's National Coffee Milkshake Day.
Oh, I love a good mocha milkshake. And speaking of Arby's, their Jamocha shake,
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons I get their drive-thru. But I'm not doing that with tequila.
Come on.
No.
Live a little. How about rum?
Rum. Okay, you got my attention with rum. I've just never been a big fan of tequila.
I like tequila, but it has to be like in a margarita or something. Or when Tim was on the show, we did a couple of tequilas that we tried, and I'm more about the sipping tequila than I am the shots of tequila.
Yeah.
And there are some tequilas you don't want to sip. There's some you just want to get rid of, and then but then there are those that you just a little bit at a
Sip,
time.
Yeah.
The 26th, in 1926, Roquefort cheese is the first cheese designated with an appellation d'origine contrôlée, which is the only the cheese that is processed in Roquefort, France, and aged in the caves there may be officially called Roquefort cheese. There are people who try styles, but it's not officially Roquefort cheese unless it was processed there in those caves.
It has to be specific to that spot.
It does.
Cool.
The 27th is National Scotch Whiskey Day.
Oh, okay. Forget the tequila day. There's my day right there.
Yes.
Scotch whiskey.
And so we know for sure it's spelled WHISKY
Not even.
because only Scotch whiskey can carry the no E. Irish whiskey, American whiskey is EY.
I did not know.
So that's the distinction. And at a place that we meet on Friday mornings, if you look at their alcoholic menu, they have it wrong.
We should correct.
Oh, I have called them out, and they said, you're not the first.
And they're like, yeah, we don't care.
Yeah.
Do you know that it's whiskey?
It costs a lot of money to replace those, they said. So,
Yeah.
Okay, well, just be wrong.
Were the Scotch the first to create whiskey? Was that where it started?
I don't know. You would think I would know that. But
You
I don't.
should.
Yeah.
I mean, you are the man who ate the town.
Yeah, and I am Scottish,
You are Scottish,
and I am Irish,
and you are Irish,
and I'm English.
and and I've got German in me. Which, okay, never mind.
So does my wife. She got her ancestry DNA results back.
Oh, she didn't realize she had some German in her?
Oh no, she knew her maiden name was Hess.
Oh, yeah. My grandmother on my father's side was a Klefiker.
Klefiker.
Yeah. Corabelle Klefiker.
Okay.
So then she became Corabelle Morgan, which sounded a whole lot better. My
Easier
grandmother
to
on the
spell.
other side was Lois Knuckles. And then she became Lois Love. I mean, it's like, that's the most perfect, right? Lois Love. It just flows off the tongue. Yeah, she started life as Lois Knuckles.
Is that K-N or just N?
K-N.
Okay.
K-N-U-C-K-L-E-S. Yeah, just like what you'd expect. Knuckles.
Knuckles.
Like knuckle draggers. And I'm sure she heard that.
And that's what, my wife calls me because I am almost 4% Neanderthal.
Wow, I did not.
She
know
says that I am
about you.
her favorite knuckle dragger.
Well, at least you're the favorite.
This is true. The 27th is also National Creme Brulee Day.
Ooh, I like
I'm
a
a
good
fan
creme brulee.
of yes, especially when it's made with Grand Marnier or something.
Now you're talking.
Oh yeah,
We're gonna have
I've
to-
been talking the whole time.
Pardon us while we go get something to eat and drink.
Yeah, yes.
We'll be right back.
Well, it'll be all right back with you.
Well, Beth. Yeah, very good. Okay, what are you talking about now?
Getting in your business.
Yeah, you've already gotten into that business there, buddy.
So, on the 27th, in 1880, Alexander P. Ashburn, an African-American grocery store owner in California, patented a method for refining coconut oil. And in 1931, a swarm of grasshoppers destroyed thousands of acres of crops in Iowa, Nebraska, and South Dakota. The cornfields were totally destroyed without a stalk left standing.
Yeah, it's wild when you see those swarms.
And in 1940, on the 27th, Bugs Bunny makes his screen debut in the animated cartoon A Wild Hare.
Well, there you go. Bugs Bunny. He's one of my favorites.
I like him a lot, too.
I liked him. This is going to be sacrilegious to you. I recognize Mr. Disney Man. But I like Bugs better than Mickey.
That's okay. I
And-
liked, Who Framed Roger Rabbit when they had both Bugs and Mickey in there together.
That was pretty cool. Yeah. Don't hate me because I was drawn this way. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, no, was Bugs Warner?
Yep.
Okay, so then we get the Animaniacs, which took Bugs Bunny's attitude to a whole new level.
And Bugs Bunny, if I'm not mistaken, it was an amalgamation of
He's hurting, folks. He's really trying to think, and it hurts.
Cary Grant and Clark Gable.
Oh,
I think that's who it was. It was an amalgamation because he's a little smartass, you know.
yeah.
And
Definitely got that.
sarcasm. And I think it was supposed to be something like that.
interesting.
Yeah, he was based on that. I think I'll look that up.
Look that up. We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
But that was, I love Bugs. That's cool.
Yeah. And the 28th is National Milk Chocolate Day.
I love milk chocolate. Dark chocolate I prefer, but
Yeah.
I love milk chocolate.
In 1866, the metric system was authorized to standardize weights and measured in the United States.
And then promptly ignore it.
Authorized, yes, but here we are 153 years later, and we still don't use it very much.
We're still talking inches.
Yes. metrics really confuse me.
If we had grown up with it, it would make sense.
Oh, absolutely. If we'd grown up speaking French, we would know that a whole lot better too.
But I mean, you look at like the metric system. There is an actual basis for how they came up with those distances. For, what is it called? The English system? Whatever we use.
I think it's the standard.
The standard. I mean, we don't have a standard by which those were originally determined. Inches it's about that.
Imperial versus the metric system is what most countries use. The metric system, which uses measuring units such as meters and grams, and adds prefixes like kilo, milli, and centi to count orders of magnitude. In the United States, we just screw stuff up.
Yeah,
it's feet, inches, and pounds,
and we like it. We like it. It's good. If you don't like it, you can go to Germany where they do everything metric.
You sound like Nigel Tufnell.
I was shooting for that. I'm glad you recognized the reference.
So, Bugs Bunny was based on the character Oscar Shapley, who was played by Roscoe Karn's personality. The manner in which Peter Warren, which was Clark Gable, was eating carrots and talking quickly and all that stuff. That was from It Happened One Night, the movie.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where Bugs' inspiration came from.
Interesting. You learn all sorts of stuff listening to us.
I know.
We're listening to you, right?
Well, but I have to learn it too, so I learn things too. On the 28th of 1900, one of the many claims to the origin of the hamburger is that Louis Lassing, or Lassen, first served hamburgers on a bun in his diner in New Haven, Connecticut.
I would have thought it was further back than that.
I think the hamburger is a relatively young thing.
So it's not the Duke of Ham or the Duke of Burger, and
No, I don't think so.
like the Earl
Earl of
Sandwich.
Yeah. Well, the Sandwich Islands, which is now known as Hawaii, was named after the Earl of Sandwich. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, and it has nothing to do with Hamburg. I don't think. Maybe it does. I don't know.
Could be.
Yeah.
Of course, we love hamburgers.
Yeah, we do. Got a whole summer of them. So that's your food histories and history for this week. Special thanks to James Ehler at foodreference.com for making us chuckle, roll our eyes, and our stomachs growling, and our mouths watering for some Scotch whiskey.
Some whiskey and some hamburgers, and then some of that fudge.
Yeah. Puccini? Is it what? Puccini. What was it?
Puccini.
Panucci.
Yeah. Panucci.
Yeah.
Brittany, listen up.
Panucci. So the Less Desirables podcast is part of the Less Desirables podcast network. Funny how that works. Along with this podcast, you can listen to the Less Desirables, the Beer Dads, Fan Interference, and Department 5B. You can find all these podcasts and their latest episodes on our network directory and website, tldpodnetwork.com. You'll also find social media links and such there as well. We'd greatly appreciate if you visit our sponsors like Delicio's Italian Restaurant, 301 Brookstown Avenue. Delicio's is the go-to Italian restaurant in town. I say it's my favorite Italian from my favorite Italian. They are fully ABC compliant and the best Napolitana style food you're going to find around here.
And now that Liberty Street is open, it's even easier to get to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Not that it was hard to begin with, but now it's even easier. They're open till 9 Monday through Thursday and till 10 on Friday and Saturday. Check them out on Instagram and on Facebook. Washington Perk and Provision Company is located 301 West 4th Street. You find a little bit of everything there at the Perk. Local nuts. Yeah, nuts. Local
That's when
fruits
we're there.
We're there. That's when I'm going to get something. Local fruits and veggies, meat and dairy from local sources. Papa Doc's Bionic Tonic, Bingo, Bango sodas made right here in Winston-Salem. Actually, right here in this building. Coming soon. Wolfie's Custard and much more. Washington Perk is better than a convenience store, but not quite a grocery store. On Facebook, they are Washington Perk or at Washington Perk _ DTWS on Instagram. What does that stand for?
downtown Winston-Salem.
That's right. The Humblebee Shop is located at 1003 Brookstown Avenue in the west end of downtown.
SHOPPE.co. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun.
You're thinking about the Panucci fudge. You need to go to Instagram right now.
Now.
And look up the Humblebee Shop.
Look them up.
Brittany is whipping up the batter on some delicious desserts, cakes, muffins, be it regular, vegan, or gluten-free. The Humblebee Shop wants to challenge your perception of scratch made and leave you with an experience you couldn't possibly forget. For more information, follow them on Facebook and Instagram or visit thehumblebeeshop.co.
SHOPPE.co. I went in there, was it Thursday? No, Friday, and got a peach pastry. It was so light, so flaky. In the center, I guess it was a tart. The center of it was the sliced peaches, and watching her drizzle honey over it. Oh yeah, that was really good.
And it's magic.
You know, from the professed chocoholic, I had chocolate options, but man, those peach pastries look so good.
They were calling your name.
And I was right. They were good. They are no longer calling my name. They're no longer calling anybody.
You did away with them and stopped all that calling.
Yeah. I was like, I'm tired of you telling me to eat you, so you're done. Thank you.
All right, so keep an eye on my blog and this podcast to find out more about the food news and happenings around town. If you have any food news, send us an email if it's what you do, or go to Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, instant messengers. Send us a message that way. Like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we are Man Who Number 8 the Town. On Instagram, we are Man Who Ate the Town. Once again, thank you so very much to George Memory of Organix Juice Bar and of Cafe Veradu. We look forward to being on your journey with you.
Absolutely, and looking forward to that opening. It'll be really cool.
All right, well, my name is Tim.
My name's Ray.
And we're closing the recipe box. That's it. Until next time, thank you for reading and thank you for listening. Bon appetit. The views and opinions stated by me or any of my guests are solely those of ours and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of our hosting companies, distributors, enemies, friends, or relatives. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced or distributed without express written consent of the man who ate the town, that's me, and Such Limited Inc. However, if you ask nicely, we'll probably let you.